Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today we're working on the 2010. It's the Volvo. It's the XC90. We're going to be doing the air filter, and then we're going to go around and we're going to replace the cabin filter also. Basically, all you're going to do is the air box is actually under here. You just grab this with two hands, one on one side and one on the other, and you just pull this, and it comes right off. It just pushes in to these little clips right here. So we're just going to take that and move it off to the side. We're going to remove these Torx bolts right down in here. There's probably 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. Actually, there's 5 of them. So let me get the Torx bit, and we're going to take that apart. Okay, what you do is just get in here with the Torx bit, and you can just unscrew them. They're really not tight. They're only screw into plastic, and you just loosen them all. Up. Do not take these cables off here. You're just going to lift it up just to gain access to them. Just lift it up like that. And you can pull it out. And you can see it's pretty dirty. It's been in there for a long time. So we're just going to grab the new filter. We'll put the new filter in exactly the way we took it out. Remember, this side was over on this piece right here. We're going to put it back in and we're going to get it wrapped up. So let me grab the filter and we'll get this out the door. Now that we got the new filter, remember we took it out this way, we're going to put it back in the exact same place. We just lift this up a little bit, slide our filter in, make sure it goes down all the way where it belongs into the opening. Make sure it goes down all the way where it belongs inside the housing, and you just line it up over the top like this, and then we're going to screw our screws in. Before you screw them in tight, just catch each one of them, just a couple of threads. The reason you do that is because when you try to tighten it up later on, if you have one tight and it doesn't line up, you won't be able to move it. Okay, so now that you have all of them caught, you can screw them down tight. You're just going to snug it in by hand. You don't have to go real tight. You don't want to break it because you're screwing it into plastic. Same thing here. Alright. Now, next thing you want to make sure, after you've done this, is make sure that nothing came off by accident here. All of our connectors are still in place where they belong. Nothing is disconnected. Make sure there's no vacuum hoses off. In this case, there is none, but just in case on some model you have, there is. Make sure all your hoses are on. Last thing we're going to do is put our cover over the top like this, line it up, and then just tap it down. And it should lock right in. Alright, fairly easy. Just make sure all your stuff is reconnected on here. Make sure your air tube didn't disconnect by accident while you had it up here, which everything looks okay. This is nice and tight up in the front right here. And that's it, you're all set. Okay, now we're inside the car. And this is the cover down here that I was telling you about. We could take out this screw, and we'll lower it down and pull out that cabin filter. These are actually T25s that are in here right now. And there's only going to be 2 of them holding it in. Just so we can clear it. And then we'll take it right out of there. And then down underneath here, this is where your cabin filter is located. So we're going to need to take out these screws underneath here. Oh, you can take them out by hand. If you can't, of course, you're going to use a ratchet, but so far we can get them out, so we'll see. Sometimes you can't even see up underneath there. should be one more underneath here. You can't see it a lot of times, just gotta go by feel. Lowers that down, and then we'll just grab the filter. And it pulls down. A little bit tight to get it out of there, but we're just gonna pull it down and turn it out like this. Sorry, I do need two hands for it, but that's how it comes out. Now we're going to grab the new filter and we'll put the new filter right back in. I just want to point out on this one here, a lot of times you can't even see any of the screws up in the back over here. You're pretty much going to have to go by feel to get this thing out of here. So, alright, let me grab the new filter and we're going to wrap it back up. Okay, now we're going to put the new one back in. I just want to point this out to you. This is the filter that came out. This is the original Volvo filter. You see how the top is actually angled like this? You got to make sure you put the new filter in at the same angle. Alright, so we're just going to take this now and we're going to put it in up underneath here. And I am going to need two hands for this, but it basically goes into the opening where you previously took it out of, like this. And you just work it back and forth and push it up. But I am going to have to put down this camera for a second, so let me just do that. Okay, now that I got the filter up in here, we're going to reattach this cover that we previously took off right here. So we're just going to screw it back up like this. You got to push it in all the way. Alright. Now I am going to need two hands to do this, but basically what you're going to do is you put the cover back up there like that, and we're going to put these screws back in. So let me get these started and we'll come right back. As you can see, I'm just screwing them in by hand here now. Now you know you can't even see in there, but we're going to screw them in. Now remember, when we took these out, they really weren't that tight. They were just finger tight. So that's the way we're going to put them back in. We don't want to break anything. Now we have this cover back up in here. We're going to take our cover here that we previously took out. We're going to get it behind this carpeting. I am going to need two hands, sorry. We're going to get it behind that carpeting just like that. And we'll push these little clips, and That locks it in. And then we're gonna put this cover back on the way it came off right here. You just line up these little pins right here, and you push them in, and it snaps in there. And the last thing we're going to do, we're going to catch these here by hand first, like that, and like this. Nice and tight. Alright. Nice and tight again. Alright, so that's it. We got our 4 screws underneath the bottom nice and tight. We put our cover back on. We put it underneath this tab right here. And we lock this underneath it right here too. And that's it. We're all set. Alright, not too bad. It's a little bit a pain in the rear end trying to get that filter up inside here and to make the turn that you're supposed to do to get it in there. But that's it. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.